Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome on back here. Thanks so much for stopping by. So it's that time of the week for me. I'm gonna do a quick weekly reading update. I've got 4 things to chat about. I finished 4 books this week. It was a pretty good week for me. I hope that you had a great week. Let's jump right into it though. At the end of last week, I was finishing up this book. I wasn't quite finished. I did finish it up, I think, that night. So this is Skin Food by Type A. I had this selected for Horror Mayhem Week 1, the supernatural beings, supernatural creatures themed week. And I chose this because it seemed like it was somewhat of a zombie-ish type story. So I was like, maybe that'll work, right? And I really liked this a lot. So the gist of this story, we've got 4 college friends, graduated college somewhat recently, and they were wanting to get back together. Now, 2 of the guys had actually moved to Seoul, South Korea, and so there's a guy and a girl that they are coming over to Korea for a visit. So that's the setup, right? And so they're out for their kind of first night, and they're going, out to a club and dancing and drinking and having a good old time, reminiscing, all that good stuff. And they make it home that night, and then the next morning, something seems weird. People are acting a little strange out in the streets. They're kind of got chased down. What's going on here? The people of Seoul have just turned into something, right? And so this is where this kind of zombie-ish type thing comes in. But in this story, they're called gangshi, and there is some Korean kind of lore that's pulled into the gangshi. We learn a little bit about that, about what they are, kind of a purpose, all that kind of good stuff of what gangshi are. I won't spoil anything for you, but so that was pretty interesting, actually, too. It's zombie-like in that the gangshi kind of chase after people and attack them and stuff, but it's not kind of a typical zombie kind of story. It's got zombie vibes, though. So it's that, the premise is nothing new necessarily, as far as there's a group of friends. They're being chased by the gangshi, and they're trying to get out of Dodge, right? I mean, that's a general setup, right? So that I love that I enjoy that kind of story usually. So yeah, for me this was a lot of fun. It's just nice, short and sweet. Gets to the point. Was written really well, even though it's short. The characters, you still got we're interested in them and what was going on with them and all of that. So yeah, I liked it. It's a nice, just fun, quick read. And if you are looking for something a little zombie-ish, but not typical zombies, I think this will fit the bill for you. If you're looking for just a little different, a little bit of different lore here. So yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I had a good time with that one. So let's see, then I finished my audiobook. I was reading The Green Mile by Stephen King, and I fluffing loved this book so much. It has catapulted to a top fave Stephen King. I don't know quite yet. I need to do a ranking of Stephen King books I've read so far. But I mean, I'd say definitely his top. It made its way in the top 5. I would say for sure, no doubt. I loved this book. Now, this is a movie I'd seen, and I've seen this movie a bunch of times. I love the movie. Well, the movie is fantastic. Also, the book is just as wonderful. So if you love the movie and have not read the book yet, read the book, because you get so much more, right? Like usual. So the gist of the story takes place in, it was like a mid-1930s, I believe it was. I forget the year now. I do apologize. And it's a prison. I was like, what's the word? A prison. And we follow, basically this section of the prison that's, death row, essentially. It's called The Green Mile because the linoleum floor is green, right? So there's sort of a handful of guards that we follow, and then a little 3 or 4 prisoners that kind of come in and out throughout the story. And our main character is kind of like a supervisor on the Green Mile. He's a kind of the supervisor of the guards. And we meet him at the beginning of the book, and he is much older and time has passed, and he is writing his story about his time on the mile and the things that occurred, particularly this sort of one period of time. And so we're going back through time with him as he's having these memories, telling the story, essentially of what happened during this, I don't even know, it was like a 6-month time frame or so. I don't even know. It was a short-ish time frame of the time on the mile. And we just get these amazing characters. I mean, Stephen King can write the hell of a character. I don't care. He just does a fantastic job with characters, and in this book is nothing less. It is fantastic. These characters are really wonderful, really fleshed out. You can just visualize them. You can imagine them on the page. They just come to life. There's so much heart here. There's heartwarming bits. There's heartbreaking bits. I mean, this is death row. People are sent to the electric chair. There's a magical mouse, Mr. Jingles, who has his little circus tricks, and it's just, I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. It is so good. I'm so glad that I finally read it, because God, it was so good. So the audiobook was really good too. It was done by Frank Miller, who has narrated a couple of the Dark Tower books. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. A couple of the Dark Tower books I listened to also. So he did a great job, because this does take place in the South, and so he captures a little bit of the Southern accent, and I don't know. I don't even know what else to say, because it's just so damn good. You just really need to read it. So yeah, The Green Mile, I loved it. And so let's see. And then here recently, I finished Little Bird by Tiffany Meuret. This was a book not on my TBR, but it was a book that I forgot I needed to read this month. I got this arc from NetGalley, and so thank you to NetGalley for approving me for that one. And so this comes out June 7th. Oh, my kid just slammed the door on me. This comes out June 7th. So look out for it if it sounds interesting. And I'm going to do a separate book chat for it. So look out for that. I'm going to try to get it recorded up in the next week or so. But yeah, I really liked it. I liked it a lot. I think I ended up with maybe like a 4-star. I thought it was really great. It's a short, slim, strange little book. So if you like weird stuff, you may like this one. So I won't say too much more. Look out for that other chat that I'll have coming soon, hopefully, where I go a little bit more into detail about it. But yeah, I thought it was great. So yeah. All right. Okay. And most recently, I finished Wisteria Cottage by Robert M. Coates. And again, I flipping loved this one too, you guys. I loved this book. I really did. I thought this was fantastic. So this was my pick for Horror Mayhem Week 2 Gothic Horror. I'd say it definitely fits the bill for Gothic Horror. And also psychological. This is so good. I will also be doing a separate book chat for this very soon. So I know there's a couple of folks that were interested in kind of my thoughts. So I'm just going to kind of ramble on a separate book chat for this one, because yeah, it's freaking great. At least I thought it was. So yeah, 5 stars from me. Maybe 4.5. Maybe there was a couple of things, but overall, it was damn good. So yeah, I had a great week. I had a really great reading week, which was great because my work week this week was shit. So it was nice to just be able to kind of break away from work and have good stuff to read, right? Yay, books. Let's see, I'm still working, I forgot to bring them up, working my way through my short story collection, the Samantha Schweblin collection, Mouthful of Birds, and my horror poetry collection, Under Her Skin. And I'm a little, I like a lot of it, but then some of it is like, I don't know. But overall, still liking those. I'm making my way through it, and I'll finish them. What's next? I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm still, I had something else. I'm still making my way. Did I mention this last week? I don't even remember. But I probably didn't, because I just started it this week. I think the audiobook. Y'all, it's been a long week. Okay, it's been a long week. I started the audiobook for Garden of Shadows by V.C. Andrews, book 5 of the Dollenganger series. This will be wrapping up the series for us and the V.C. Andrews read along that Kelly at Hooked on Books is hosting. I'll link her channel below. She has a little chat group set up for us on Instagram. There's maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 of us or so that are, chatting about these crazy Dollenganger family. And I'm liking this one so far. Book 3 was like, blah. And then like book 4 was a little better. And I'm liking this one much more. So the series is just kind of going like that, right? But anyway, I'm liking this pretty good so far. And we're going way back in this book to the grandmother of Flowers in the Attic. If you've read Flowers in the Attic, the grandmother in that book, we're following her story in here. So when she gets married to Malcolm and have their kids and all of that drama. So yeah, so far so good. I'm liking it pretty good so far. So that ends week 2 of Horror Mayhem. I did not get to anything else that I had planned for week 2. It was just one of those weeks. And it was one of those weeks, again, where I'm sitting there in the evening when I finally have time to sit and I'm just reading a little bit and then I'm nodding off. So this basically took me all week to read just because I get little sleep. So anyway. So week 3 more Horror Mayhem. I didn't bring up anything, of course. Oh, it's Cosmic Horror, and I got my little collection of some H.P. Lovecraft that I'm going to work my way through next week. I also want to make a start onto either I Am Legend or Chain Letter by Ruby Jean Jetson. I don't know, I'm not sure which one I'm in the mood for quite yet. So I'll pick one of those up too. Yeah, so whatever I pick up, I'm going to be really excited for the week to come. And yeah, that's it. I hope you had a great week. Let me know what you read last week or whatever, what you've been up to. I'd love to know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've even watched anything this week. So, yeah. Alrighty. That's going to do it. Thanks so much for watching. I know I'm always so appreciative of your time. I so appreciate it. And until next time, that's going to do it for me. Bye, friends.